everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having an unbelievable week and you are preparing to do what it do during the weekend. For me, tomorrow is a work day. Sunday will be family time. And we will take things accordingly. Remember what I always say, that no matter where you're at right now, um, no matter how bad it may seem, if you are still breathing, you are still in the fight. Good morning, Erlene. Um, I'm going to talk to you about something that is very close to my heart, very dear to me. It is at the core of who I am and what I do, both professionally and as a purpose and a passion on a personal level. It's helping people heal. It's helping people cope with things. It's helping people understand their pain. It's helping people heal and grow and become stronger in what they are facing in this life. What happens when the unbreakable is broken? Well, first of all, to the people who are on the business page and you wonder why I post these morning motivational moments and things that have to do with mentality, psychology, and human behavior on a business page. It's because success in business, success in finance, success in life is 80% psychology and 20% plan and strategy. I've seen people with excellent plans and poor psychology, a poor mental focus, a poor mental state of mind do horribly. I've seen people with no plan and an unbelievable mindset do exceptional things because the plan will come together if you have the right mindset and you have the right fortitude and you have the right force. So I just wanted to touch that. Let me tell you, there's going to be times in your life where things aren't the way you want them to be. There are going to be times in your life when everything around you seems dark. I've been there. I've been there on more than one occasion. I've been there when you feel you're this close to losing it all. And your only hope and prayer is, don't let me lose my mind. I've been there. I've been in a place where it seems like everything has gone wrong and everything that you've worked so hard for, all of the pushing, all of the long days, all of the things you've put into something, and here you are, and it's all gone, or it's turned up, or it's burning, and you don't know what to do, and your heart is broken, your passion is suppressed. Uh, your desire is being quelched, and you're looking at life and you're going, why me? I've been there. Let me tell you something. There's the other side of the struggle. There's the other side of the heartache. There's the other side of the pain. You have to understand that there are some things going on. Some people are actually coming into the game as adults broken because of childhood. I've taught about it. I've written about adverse childhood experiences, the trauma, how it plays out over the course of a person's life, not just in their mental capacity, not just emotionally, not just psychologically, but it has a negative impact on their physical health. And I've written about that. I've talked about that. I've talked about the importance of healing. I've created courses to help people deal with emotional and psychological trauma and to come out of it. But I want to get real down on a very down to earth basis and talk to you about what it takes to get through that moment in that storm. Let me tell you, like I said, I've been there. That's the beautiful thing about doing what I do. There's so many people I come in contact with, and I've lived my life so passionately and so hard that I'm always on the edge of getting somewhere, which means I also risk falling off the edge. So I've dealt with a lot of disappointment in order to get the things out of life I want. And I try to be as transparent with that as I possibly can. I don't ever want to present myself as a person who knows it all. I don't ever want to present myself as a person who has never had difficulties. I don't ever want to present myself as a person who has always made the best decisions. What I am is a person that's resilient. I'm a person that refuses to quit. I'm a person that refuses to give up. I keep pushing. I find a way to pick myself up. I find a way to dust myself off. I find a way to move through it. Look, what happens when what is unbreakable becomes breakable? Because a lot of people have this mindset. I'm not quitting. I'm not going to give up. And there's this feeling of invincibility. But what happens when something hits you so hard that it literally knocks the breath out of you? And now you're facing the reality that you can be broken. But the thing is, the pieces can be mended, that you can actually come back stronger through the mending process, through trusting the process, through doing the work, through refusing to quit, through understanding the process. See, one of the things is when you let the moment rob you of your joy, when you allow the moment to dictate your mindset, when you allow the moment to determine how you're going to move through the day, when you allow your circumstances to be the influencing mechanism by which you are going to gauge where you're at in this walk, you succumb to your circumstances. You become a prisoner of your circumstances. You become someone who is governed by what they're going through instead of being held up by who they are and whose they are. And that's one of the things that I had to learn, that there was simply going to be times when I wasn't where I wanted to be. There were going to be times where I felt I was falling behind. There were going to be times where things weren't coming together in the time frame in which I needed them to come together. But I had to understand that that didn't define me, that my definition was going to be based more in how I responded to the adversity than the adversity itself. I had to understand that my circumstances were not the defining moment in my life, that where I am right now does not dictate or determine where I'm going and where I'm going to end up. I have had to make up in my mind on more than one occasions that this isn't the end of the journey for me. There's something better on the other side of this pain. You know, there's a lot of controversy right now whirling around the actor Will Smith, and I'm not going to get into it, but I do remember something he said, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. When the people were asking him about his success, and he said that he believed God placed everything worth having on the other side of fear. And I add that God placed everything worth having on the other side of fear and pain. See, anything worth having is going to take something out of you. You're going to have to be willing to go through some things. You're going to have to be willing to risk some things. You're going to have to be willing to go into spaces that the average person refuses to go into because of the fear of what might happen. You're going to have to be willing to take some blows in this life if you want to live an exceptional life. It's not about having some type of sadistic desire to be in the midst of pain. It's about understanding that growth doesn't come without it. You can't go in the gym and grow without discomfort and pain. You're going to make some sacrifices when you're trying to grow intellectually. You're going to have to give up some of the things that may be more fun to engage some things that you need to be more passionate about. That's the reality of this thing. You're going to come to a moment. I've been there. I've had people look at me and tell me I was in denial. How are you sitting there and smiling when things seem so destitute? Brother, you lost everything and you're sitting there and you're smiling. You probably need to talk to somebody. They didn't understand I already had. but you're in denial. You're going through a grieving process and you're in the state of denial. You haven't accepted that no, see, it's not that I haven't acknowledged where I'm at. It's that I haven't succumbed to my circumstances because I'm not operating and identifying myself based on my circumstances. I'm identifying myself based on my purpose, based on my design, based on what's expected of me by my creator. I've already been named. My circumstances don't get to name me. What people think about me don't get to name me. What I'm going through doesn't have the authority to name me. I was named by my purpose. I was named by my design. I was named by my designer. My name is greatness. My name is perseverance. My name is relentless. My name is unstoppable. Your opinion of me doesn't change that. Your assessment of my life doesn't change that. Me getting knocked down, me getting pushed back, me having problems doesn't change that. See, I was built for this. I am set in it, and you can't do anything about it. See, you focus on my circumstances, and you can't figure out how I'm smiling in my circumstances. Let me tell you something. Those of you that are hurting right now, you got to have something in your spirit that communicates with the Spirit of God in a way that the Spirit of God is reaffirming your purpose, reaffirming your identity, reaffirming your place in this world. What happens when you have that connection with God? There's going to be something in your spirit that simply disagrees with your circumstances. That's where the beginning of power happens. When you have the mental capacity, casting down arguments and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into the captivity and obedience, when you have the ability to be in the midst of a turbulent moment and see beyond it because you understand that there's a greater thing happening in the middle of the storm. See, granddaddy told me a long time ago, son, you're going to be going into storms and in storms and coming out of storms your whole life. It's a cycle, going in, being in, coming out. Your responsibility when you're in the storm, son, is to come out a better man than you went in. The storm is not there to destroy you. It's there to shape you. For those of you who are Christians, Peter said that there's going to be a testing of the genuineness of your faith. There's going to be fiery trials. You're going to have to be willing to go through some things. Will Smith said there's everything worth having is on the other side of fear. I added everything worth having is on the other side of fear and pain. You're going to have to understand it. But see, people are sitting up and looking at me and going, I'm in denial. No, I'm not in denial. I'm already living. See, I'm mentally in the moment of the breakthrough. You're looking at where I'm operating. I'm living where I'm going because I have the ability to call things that are not as though they were. I have the ability to sit up and see beyond where I'm at and know where I'm going. I'm smiling not because I'm in the middle of a storm. I'm smiling because trouble don't last always. I'm trying to get you to understand that this brokenness isn't permanent. That you have within you the power to heal. Now, let me be very clear. The healing process is a dynamic one. That means it's not static. It's not something you simply wish for and it happens. It's not something you simply say, I'm over it, and you're over it. So many people think they have talked themselves out of their trauma. So many people think they have talked themselves out of their pain. But what they've done is they've created a facade of being okay, but the turbulence is still beneath the surface, operating in the space of the heart of what we now call the subconscious, and it's causing all kinds of problems. That's why you cannot sustain healthy relationships. That's why you can't get consistent control over your life. That's why you're struggling in the way of career and business. That's why you don't have a grasp on finance, because you are simply pretending to be okay. Let me tell you something. In order to be okay, you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to acknowledge that you went through something. You're going to have to acknowledge the pain. Then you're going to have to find a source greater than the pain. You're going to have to connect to the source. You're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to talk to yourself different. You're going to have to treat yourself different. You're going to have to trust that you're coming through something. You're going to have to be willing to put in the work. I know this isn't the normal psychological and neurological and all of the technical stuff that sometimes I get off into, but this is how it is. When you're down and out and you've been hit and you've been knocked down and you're on your back, none of that technical stuff comes. It's real simple. Do I trust God? Do I trust my purpose? Am I ready to stand up? Am I ready to rise out of the ashes? Am I ready to walk through this and come out better on the other side? Am I ready to fight? When I am interviewing new clients and I'm determining whether or not I'm going to work with them, and some are shocked at the fact that I'm willing to turn down the fee and not work with them, and they're wondering why. For me to give you what I'm going to give you, because I give so much. I mean, I pour into my clients. It takes away from me. And so if I'm going to give that to you, I need to know you're giving yourself more. I need to know you're committed. And the only question I have when I go in is, are you committed? Are you ready to go the distance? See, it's not what you know. It's not how skilled you are. It's not how tough you think you are. It's one question. What is the distance you're willing to go to achieve what you say you want to achieve? How far are you willing to go to heal? How far are you willing to go to grow? How far are you willing to go to have a successful business? How far are you willing to go to build a financial empire? How far are you willing to go to save your marriage? How far are you willing to go to build a strong bond with your children? How far are you willing to go to be an impact in the world around you? And if I can't see that you're willing to go the distance, I can't work with you. Why? Because you're going to burn your emotions and you're going to torch my time. I don't have that luxury. I'm trying to help people win. I'm trying to help people heal. I'm trying to help people change their lives. I'm trying to help people understand there's no magic switch. There's no magic potion. There's no certain people that have some kind of inside scoop on success. It's going the distance. It's simply doing what the average person won't do so that you can excel. It's simply saying, I'm going to have to set down some of the things that aren't serving me. I'm going to have to let go of some of the people who aren't benefiting me, that are bringing negativity, that is bringing darkness into my life. I'm going to have to make some changes. No, I wasn't in denial. My circumstances were before me, and my circumstances were legitimate. But see, the beauty of about being in purpose is you understand that you have access to the mind of God, and every answer you need is already speeding its way to you. For people who have read the Bible, in the book of Daniel, chapter 10, Daniel is struggling because he's had this dream, and normally he is the dream master. He interprets dreams. But there's this dream that he's had himself. He's interpreted everybody else's dream, but he has a dream himself, and he needs to understand it. And he prays about it and he fasts about it, but the answer doesn't come quickly. It says that he waited 3 weeks fasting and praying before the angel of the Lord showed up. And the angel of the Lord showed up. This is what he told Daniel. Daniel, man dearly beloved, stand up, do not fear. Then he said, from the moment that you set your heart to understand, your prayers were heard. And I have come because of your prayers. So what took 3 weeks? He said, we were withstood by the principle. There's spiritual warfare going on in realms outside of the third dimension that you need to be with. That's why you got to cast down arguments. That's why you got to bring thoughts into captivity, because there's a war waging in the spiritual realm, and that war is also playing out in your mind. The more you accept the negative, the more powerful the negative becomes. The more you focus on the problem, the bigger the problem becomes. The more you do that, the harder it becomes to get out of it. And if you're not careful, you'll back yourself into a corner where you believe that it's impossible to escape. You have to understand how to move in this thing. There's nothing that can stop you but you. You were built to go the distance. You were built to stand up to adversity. You were built to move through resistance and navigate obstacles. You were built to withstand the negative impact of the sweet nothings of negativity whispered in your ear by those that claim to love you but consistently tear you down. You have something on the inside planted there by the Creator that says, I can, I will, I must, I'm built for this. I want you to know that no matter where you're at right now, I want you to know this isn't the end of your story unless you accept it as the end. Failure isn't final until you quit. You got to make up in your mind that this is the moment, this is the day, this is the chance to change your life in a way that you never thought impossible. But you got to go all in. You got to be committed. You got to be prepared to go the distance. You got to shake yourself free of doubt. You got to trust and believe that when you plant, it's going to bring a harvest. And you've got to heal. You've got to confront the things that hurt you, not necessarily the people. They may have changed and moved on, or they may be the same. That's not your responsibility, but you got to confront that pain. I don't know where you are right now, but I know there's something better. I don't care how good it seems right now. There's still something better. There's another level. That's the beauty of this life. You get to keep elevating and growing and expanding and increasing your space, increasing your capacity to reach people, increasing your impact in this world. Your goal should be to leave a legacy behind that's so enormous that it speaks of you long after you're gone. My life, the second half of my life has been about that legacy. The first half was about getting stuff and proving what I could do and having stuff and accumulating things. And I still woke up every morning empty. And I said, something's not there. Something's not there. And I realized that that was something, that was a void that couldn't be filled with things. That was a void yearning for a legacy. Something I leave behind that speaks of me after I'm gone, and I started to build it. And I'm still building it. And every life I touch is a part of my legacy. Every book I write is a part of my legacy. Every speech I give is a part of my legacy. Every one-on-one encounter, from the person in the aisle at the grocery store to the person on the corner asking for change, it's a legacy builder. Touch lives, Rick. Touch lives. Every time I come on and I do this, it's a legacy builder. I just need to get one person to feel better about their situation and take action, and it's worth it. It's a legacy builder. Some of the people I'll never hear from, but it's a legacy builder. That's what this is about. I want to help as many people as I can heal. I want to help as many people as I can grow. I want to help as many people as I can experience power. There's no quick fix. There's no magic potion. It's about work. I have mastered the principles, the techniques, the approach. I have the experience and the history of facing some of the most unbelievable adversity and overcoming it. I know what resilience looks like. I live by the one word, relentless, and I know how to teach it. I would love to help you. There is also, for those of you who are going through some things emotionally and psychologically, there's a course listed here that is entitled Healing Emotional Trauma, Healing Emotional and Psychological Trauma. There is the self-paced version, and then there's the version that you get to work with me. Both of those are listed there. I would love to work with you. For those of you who want to work with me in some other capacity, great. For those of you who have already worked with me in the past and want to work with me again, contact me about a special that I'm willing to offer past clients, and we'll make that happen. On that note, I'm going to get ready to get out of here, but I encourage you, walk in your purpose. Walk in the identity given to you by the Creator. Do not be defined by your moments, because they will pass. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable time, and we will talk soon.